What's crack-a-lackin', my magical little dudicorns? Welcome back to Storytime with your favorite Reddit fairy. My name is Lorna, and today we're getting into some r/ChoosingBeggars. But that's not all. We're also gonna get into some r/JustNoMIL, which I guess also is just no mother-in-law. So we got some tasty stories coming for you. So without further ado, smash that subscribe button, sit back, relax, and let's get right into it. You getting money for your birthday means you're obligated to buy things for me. Posted by user StabbyBoss234. This happened to me a while back. I decided to go to the mall with one of my guy friends so we could hang out. Everything seemed normal at first, until my friend asked me to buy him something at a store. It wasn't very pricey, only $5, so I agreed to buy it for him. After I bought him the item, he and I kept going into other stores and he would keep asking me to buy him things. I obviously started to get irritated by this and kept telling him no. After we did some more browsing in stores, we decided to buy some Starbucks before heading back home. I'd gotten a $25 Starbucks gift card for my birthday, so I told him that it would be my treat. While we were walking over to Starbucks, my friend saw a Haagen-Dazs opened in the food court. He said that he wanted to get something from there instead, and I didn't have a problem with that, but I made it clear to him that if he got Haagen-Dazs instead, I wouldn't be paying for him since I wanted Starbucks and only had the gift card valid there. He didn't say anything back to me and rushed over to Haagen-Dazs. I followed him and saw him order an ice cream. When the employees finished making his ice cream, then they gave him the total. I don't exactly remember how much it was, but I knew it would be a little bit more pricey since he asked for extra toppings and such. After they gave him the total, he looked over at me and just gave me a blank stare. Well, I'm standing there clearly confused. Aren't you gonna pay for it? No? But you said you'd be paying for our treats. No, I said I'd be paying for the Starbucks, but you wanted Haagen-Dazs, so you'd be paying for it yourself. But if you have money for Starbucks, then you should have money for my ice cream. I only agreed to pay for the Starbucks because I have a gift card there. But didn't you get $500 for your birthday? You should have enough to buy me some things. It's not even that expensive. I did receive $500 for my birthday, but I didn't bring all of it with me, only $50, and I've already spent the rest of it on stuff for myself. But just because I got that for my birthday doesn't mean that I have to spend it all on you. But it would be nice of you to spend a little bit of it on me. He says that literally 15 minutes after asking me to buy him several different Funko Pops at GameStop. Me and him kept arguing until his mom called to say that she was outside waiting for us. He pulled out some cash and paid for his ice cream before storming off. You could imagine how aggravated I was when I saw him pay. This guy had money on him to pay for his food, but chose to have me pay for it just because I got money for my birthday. Just to clarify, I don't mind paying for a friend, depending on how much it is, but I won't be paying for them every time we go out somewhere that they're expected to bring their own money. He would still ask me once in a while if I wanted to go back to the mall with him, and I would say no and remind him about how he acted last time. He would always say the same thing over and over, that I should be more considerate of others and it wouldn't hurt for me to give him $100 or so for my birthday money. Yes, he actually said that to me. Edit. I've actually cut contact with this guy. He was being toxic, and I decided to let him go. Good for you. That sounds atrocious of a person to be in some kind of friendship with. No, thank you. Gross. Like, you know, I was one of those kids that never really had an allowance or spending money or anything like that, but I had friends, but like we didn't really go out and do things. Like we had an imagination. Know what I'm saying? We had an imagination and we used that imagination and we played outside for fuck's sakes. Like, oh my god, I'm an asshole. Whatever, I don't care. All right, my dudes. So yeah, what's up? How do you like the new video format? I don't know if I'm gonna keep it. My room's kind of a mess right now. I'm in the middle of doing some like redecorating, and I've got a whole bunch of boxes that I need to get rid of. So there's like a tarp covering all those boxes. Just don't even look at it. How you guys doing? Let's get into the next story, my dudes. But before I do, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on all notifications for future videos just like this one. This next one is called Client's Son Spoiled the Deal. Posted by user Fat Elvis. He's another... Okay, I'm pretty sure I've read like at least 5 of Fat Elvis's stories by now. So this guy's either he's all in all the shit all the time, or he just knows how to write a good story. Either way, I'm living for it. Let's get into it. This one is called Client's Son Spoiled the Deal. I already read... What am I doing? I already read the title, duh. I'm not used to the camera. The camera's throwing me off. I don't know if I like this. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna get into it. So, I am jobless right now. So am I, my dude. So am I. I mean, this is kind of a job. But anyway, shut up, Lauren. Let's get back into the story. And not getting any callbacks on my job hunt. It's all good though. I am pretty handy, have my own truck and tools, and do side jobs every now and then to pay for gas and food. My mom called me up asking if I would do a side job for her friend. She is a lady she knows from church and had a pretty big water leak, and now the fucking remediation is done. She needs someone to come put the sheetrock and trim back on, tape/float, and texture the walls and ceiling. Typically for a job like this, I would charge about $800 for labor and about $200 in materials. This would cover my trips to price it, gather the materials, and do the job. But I had some leftover material from my last job, and I cut the family a deal and told them I would do it for $400. Also, keep in mind, this lady was loaded. The house was about 6 times the median average for the area, and they had the furniture, pool, and cars to go with it. I even felt a little bit stupid for cutting her a deal, but mom's church friend and all. She agrees to the price, and I start loading my truck, and then I get a call from her son, who wants to go over the numbers with me. He starts off asking for the friends and family discount. I tell him he's already got it. Then he wants a cash discount for no taxes. And I tell him he already has that too. This haggling goes on for a few minutes, and I don't give a single dollar. He's not happy, but I don't really care. When I get to do the work, he is there, and when he sees the half-used box mud and the partial sheets of the sheetrock, and he asks where they came from, I told him from my last job. Then he starts going on and on about a discount for used materials, and how I promised them new materials, and how I'm ripping his mother off, who is nowhere to be seen while he's doing this. At this point, I know how this will turn out. If I do the work, he will inspect it, find flaws, then want a discount or renegotiate the price. So when he says he's going to get some more quotes, I just say, "Suits me," and load my truck and leave. That night, my mother calls me up and wants to know why I was trying to rip off her friend by using used materials. I told her the whole story, and we both got a good laugh out of it. About 3 weeks later, she calls me up and tells me they can't find anyone to do the work for less than $800 and would like me to come do the work. I send word back that I'm not interested. About a week later, the lady calls me and directly apologizes and tells me that they have hired a guy for $800. He wanted half up front, dropped off the materials, then never came back. She just wants the holes in her walls and ceilings fixed. So I tell her it is still $400. She agrees, and I go over to the work and do the work the next day. The son is there, and I am not in the mood for his shit. And sure enough, he starts telling his mother it's better this way because at least I won't be using scraps and used materials. At this point, I was ready to knock his block off and tell the lady there is one more condition. I get paid in full before I start. They both look at me dumbfounded, and I know it stung because she just got ripped off. When she asked why, I told her it was because I knew her son was going to try to renegotiate the deal after the work was done. He lost his shit, called me a crook, a liar, and a few other choice words. I was right, that was exactly what he was going to do, and I called him on it. She wanted me to do the work and was willing to pay me cash right there, but he would not let her. His pride would not allow it. He was one of those guys that have to haggle a better deal no matter what, and he could not stand it that I would never give a little. My mother told me it took her a couple of months to find someone else to do the work. My lesson learned was to never give a deal to a friend and family up front. Go high enough so you can give a little bit without hurting feelings. That's like, this should be an asshole tax, and I'm really sad because I checked r/asshole tax this morning to see if there was anything like new posted in, and there's like hardly ever anything new posted in that subreddit anymore, and it's making me sad. But this definitely belongs in r/asshole tax because you ended up, I mean, you didn't pay OP the asshole tax, but you ended up paying it anyway, regardless. Sucks to be you, sucks to suck. I'm so sorry, Karen. Or I guess Ken. I don't know. There's a big debate going on online whether or not a male Karen is a Kyle or a Ken. I want to say Ken because, you know, those two idiots that were like those rich lawyer idiots that came out on their lawns with their guns. That guy just looks like a Ken to me. He's like the male version of Karen, but he looks like a Ken. Like, just, he totally does. Let me know in the comments below. Is it Kyle? Is it Ken? Is it something else you think? Let me know in the comments below. I've got one more story from r/ChoosingBeggars, and this one is called Random Kids Use My Pool, Ask for Food, and Refuse to Leave. Posted by user, Why Are You Like This? This may sound a bit crazy, but it's true, and I have a video to prove it. Also, ignore structure. I'm on mobile. So, this all started when my dad and I heard a knock on our door. We both came to the door and opened it, and there were these 3 kids standing at the door. Hello, we're here to raise money to save our basketball team, and we were wondering if you're willing to donate. My dad says sure and walks away to grab money. These kids start talking to me, telling me about their basketball team. You have a nice pool. Do you mind if we go in? I was confused for a second and just said, And a few seconds later, my dad came back and the kids asked them, Can we go in? And my dad, in lapse of judgment, says yes, which I find weird because the kids haven't even told us their names. We go up to the pool, and my dad has me open it for them, and he has me watch them play with the dog as they swim. So I do about 30 minutes. Go by. Fuck. About 30 minutes go by of me talking to these kids, and I learn their names and some stuff about them, and all of a sudden, they ask me a question. Can you order us some pizza? We're hungry. I was sitting there like, what the ever-loving fuck is going on? These kids got Sphere d'Aciao, aka balls of steel. I tell them no, but instead of accepting that, they start telling me their order. I tell them no again, and they don't stop. Approximately 15 minutes later, my brother comes, and he says hi and tells me he brought tacos for Mom, Dad, and I. Hearing that the boys ask for some, he says no, and they have the nerve to say to me, Well, now you have to get us the pizza. Tell them no to get out of the pool because I want to hang out with my brother instead of watching them. They say, I don't want to leave. And I keep telling them to get out. They said no until my brother tells them to get the hell out of the pool. They don't. They start swimming laps until he yells, Get your ass out of the pool now. They finally leave and put their clothes back on over what they swam in and left. This happened today, and I am in absolute shock at the level of entitlement and the craziness of these kids. Don't let strangers in your pool. I guess, I don't know, like when I was a kid, that's another thing I didn't have was, well, I had a pool at one point actually, but every time my parents had a house with a pool, it never lasted long. They don't want to upkeep it because my parents aren't really swimmers themselves. So they're just like, fuck this. Take this shit out of here. Why am I going to keep something that I don't even want to take care of? Like, fuck it, get it out of here. But anyway, I go to my friends to swim. But there was there was a, what do you call it? Like a public pool in my neighborhood. It was like literally right next to my house. So I was there every day. And I don't even know what I was talking about. But oh yeah, you meet kids. Like when you want to swim and stuff, you can meet new friends and stuff like that. Oh, where the fuck am I going with this? I don't know. But just, I'm saying like, this is something that did happen as children. Like I would see random kids in the neighborhood bringing over like their cousins or whatever to their friend's house and be like, this is like 20 of my cousins. Can we all just jump in your pool? It would be super awesome, please. You know what I'm saying? It's just a kid thing, but who knows how old these kids were. Maybe they're just trying to make money for their basketball team. Who knows if it's grade school or high school or whatever. Still, don't fucking expect strangers to buy you food or like entertain you for hours. Like what? Who raised you? All right, my dudes, now we're gonna get into some r/JustKnowMIL. This one is called Mother-in-Law Broke Into Our House, hosted by user Which Woman Shota. Cross-posting from another sub at the urging of a frequenter of this sub. I'm new here today, and now that I know I'm indeed not an asshole, I think that they're saying, think that you would all enjoy this incredibly messed up story in its entirety. I live in the US, so things are pretty scary right now with the virus. My husband, child, and myself have been taking every precaution and only leave our house for necessities. We also wear masks every time we leave the house. My in-laws are another story. They don't take it seriously and take little to no precautions, and thus we have had little contact with them throughout the pandemic. Things are worse than ever now in our state, with skyrocketing cases, so back to window visits only. Last night, after we put our little one down, my husband hopped on to play video games, and I headed upstairs to watch girly shows and get some sleep, since Lo? What is that? Lo? I'm guessing that's their kid, has been an early riser these days. Little one, oh my god, Lorna. Okay. I settled in and was just about to fall asleep when our dog let out a panicked howl. I knew my husband wouldn't hear it with his gaming headset on, so I go down in my underwear and a t-shirt to check things out. It's almost always a neighbor who gets home from work late and their car door spooks the dog for some reason. I get downstairs and there is my mother-in-law standing in my house. Her first words are, "I think we need to talk about your behavior." Cue explosion from me. Here is a brief summary of what I remember saying. What the fuck? Why are you here? Why did you think it was okay for you to let yourself into our home without permission? You need to get out now. You need to get outside now, or I'm gonna call the police. She stammers a bit, flustered at my outburst, and then runs out crying. I get my husband, and he is pissed. This is a hard boundary line crossed, as both my husband and I are private people, and this is known to them. We get outside with masks on to try and calm down, and to get to the bottom of it all. We have an emotional talk about how their choices have impacted their ability to see their grandchild, and it finally appears to have sunk in, even though we have explained this to them before. This was her first issue with my/our behavior of late. However, the behavior she's most upset about is that I recently RSVP'd no to sister-in-law's wedding shower. It's outside and only 20 people or so, but it's not a risk I'm willing to take right now. I bought an appropriate gift and was going to set up a socially distanced fire with some sister-in-law's favorite snacks, drinks, and even some already purchased theme decorations to celebrate. I had not yet gotten the chance to tell sister-in-law directly, as I had just messaged the bridal party group chat, which is minus the bride for planning purposes, earlier that day, and it was as crazy as a busy Monday as ever. I intended on telling her and setting up a day today. Well, of course, mother-in-law had already shared this information with her. I also did not attend the bachelorette party earlier on. Sister-in-law seemed completely understanding of my fears and was okay with it when we spoke prior to the event. Well, according to mother-in-law, sister-in-law is heartbroken about me missing both events. If so, she gave no indication, and I'm not one to pry, people. You tell me we are good, smile sincerely, and I'm gonna take it as truth. I'm no mind reader, and I hate when people expect you to know how they feel. Sister-in-law and I already set up a chat for later this week, as I truly love my sister-in-law and fully support her marriage to her future husband and want to clear the air and find out what her true feelings are. Whatever. Continuing on with the current situation at hand. Mother-in-law and I kind of patch things up. Mother-in-law apologizes and then asks for an apology from me for threatening to call the police. No, I'm not, sorry. You broke into our house. It seemed sincere, but still seemed to lack the understanding of the severity of the offense, since she then asked me for mine. She didn't push it after I ignored the comment completely and continued with the regular goodbye pleasantries. But I'm just so pissed. I feel so incredibly violated. Edit info. Mother-in-law claimed the door was unlocked and ajar. Well, it may have been unlocked. My husband locks up before coming to bed since he has to take the dog out. It was definitely not ajar. The door swings all the way open if not latched, and I know it was closed when turning off downstairs lights before bed. It is possible though that it was locked and she made a key behind our backs while house sitting. That is unclear. Mother-in-law's reasoning, while in the heat of the argument for coming into the house, was that she was afraid that we were going to take our son and run, cutting off all contact. My husband will be having a conversation tonight with his parents regarding what happened. He will also be providing them with COVID information and guidelines from reputable sources to ensure they are fully educated on the situation and why we cannot see them right now. We love them and we will work through this, but it will definitely take time and harsher security measures and boundaries for now. I know a lot of people are dealing with this right now. A lot of people are dealing with this right now. People that don't respect others. People that want to point the finger at other people and call them sheeple. Like, dude, do you realize you sound like the sheeple when you say that? Because all of you with the same mindset, anti-maskers, anti-vaxxers. What the fuck did I just say? Anti-vaxxers? It's this car alarm going off. This is just fucked with my head. The anti-maskers and anti-vaxxers, they're sitting there complaining about all this, but like, you're the most selfish twats ever. I don't even remember what the fuck I was saying because of this damn car alarm. Sorry, where I was going with that, I guess we'll never know, but I'm easily distracted today for some reason. I don't know. I think it's the camera. I don't like this. I just want to hide behind my microphone, you know what I'm saying? But like, a lot of people are dealing with this where people in their immediate family just don't respect other people, and they want to prove a point by going to public places that require a mask and walking in without one because they want a confrontation. That's what they want. They don't want to prove that they're a free thinker. You guys look like fucking idiots who do that. I'm just saying. You start coughing on people. I'm sorry. You come up to me and you cough on me, I'm punching you in the face in self-defense. So I hope you don't, you weren't too attached to your teeth because they will be knocked out of your fucking skull. Just saying. All right, my dudes, I've got one more story for you guys today. This one is it's shorter than the others, so we're gonna finish it off on a nice short story. This one is called Mother-in-Law and Naming Rights, posted by user Betches Love This. That's okay. Betches Love This. Okay. Old story. We go to dinner with the extended family. We're sitting around after dinner chatting about names. Brother-in-law says he dislikes his very common name. Significant other and I had been talking about baby names, even though we were not close to having children. And I make the mistake of saying, "What do you think about the name X?" Let's just pretend I said James. In union, they all say they don't like the name, LOL. I jokingly say, "Well, you're getting a grandson named James." Mother-in-law raises her voice. "No, I am not." I drop it in the interest of peace. I figured she just apologized. Give her some room. A month or so later, we're all driving together. Somehow, naming kids Parent Junior comes up, and I jokingly say, Oh, significant other? You would like to have a significant other junior? He laughs and says no. Mother-in-law inserts herself. As long as you don't name future grandchild that terrible name. What was it? James? I was so mad. The audacity to insert yourself in such a demanding way. I said, well, mother-in-law, when you have more children, I guess you can name them whatever you want. She said, well, I'm done having kids. I said, well, I guess you're done naming kids. Ugh. She's never brought this up again, but we don't have kids yet. This is another thing I can't stand. Like, stop, like OP said, stop inserting yourself into decision-making of someone else's child. Like, how dare you tell somebody what to name their kids? Like, it's not your kid. Fuck off. It's like, I know a lot of people that force their kids to give certain middle names to their grandkids, and they're very adamant about it, and it causes like arguments and shit like that. But just leave people alone. If nobody's hurting anybody, just unless they're gonna name them something stupid like Optimus Prime. I mean, that's a great name. I think that'd be a great name for a pet or something. But don't give your kid a fighting chance through school without, being an easy target for bullies. Fuck bullies anyway, but you know what I'm saying? Don't make it more difficult for them. Like, stop taking common names and spelling them all fucky too. Like, you're not original. It's not original. Pick an original name. Like, pick a unique name, but like, don't use like Bill and just spell it B-Y-L-L. Like, this, you know what I'm saying? Am I making sense? Am I sounding like a dick? I don't know. I'm probably sounding like a dick. Oh, anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on all notifications for future videos just like this one. There's less than half of my subscribers that have been watching my videos consistently when they come out. So I don't know if it's YouTube is just saying, fuck you, Lorna, or if people aren't getting the notifications or what. I don't know what's happening. But I hope you guys will join me for the next one. As always, the links to these stories will be in the description below, so head on over to Reddit and show those posters some love with some upvotes. You know they deserve it, my dudes. Look what I did. Alright, I'm ending it there because clearly I'm about to self-destruct. I'm fucking sweating balls. My makeup is like running and shit. I'm pretty sure I'm washing this shit off my face. I hate wearing makeup, but I couldn't come on camera without makeup. It would have been fucking horrible. You guys have a fan-fucking-tabulous day, and I will see you in the next episode. Peace!